Hello and welcome to Maruti Suzuki presents ESPN Cricinfo Match Day. One final opportunity in international cricket for India to figure out or have a look at players before that big World Cup in May, June in England. It starts off with a two-match T20I series at Visakhapatnam on Sunday the 24th of February, but make no mistake, there will be eyes on players like KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, Vijay Shankar, all vying for a spot in that final 15. Maybe another spot is opened up and another lifeline is opened up for Ravindra Jadeja in white ball cricket, courtesy the injury to Hardik Pandya. All that and more as we look ahead to the first game. Sanjay Manjrekar with me in studio and delighted to have the company of Shaun Tait joining us from Australia. Sanjay, let's start with you. Significance of this series, can we dissociate the T20s from the ODIs, or is this entire 7-match series done with the same lens? Let's look at some of the guys before the World Cup.
I think a little more relaxed kind of approach because this is T20s and preparation for 50 overs World Cup cannot be really based on T20 performances, but I guess it will still be in their mind, the selectors and the team management. So a few spots still open. People like Rishabh Pant coming in contention, Vijay Shankar. You talked about Jadeja's spin alternative. There's Markande as well, who India could try, and he could be like a wild card entry into that World Cup squad because finger spinners have no place almost in today's white ball cricket. So lots of interesting options available, and I'm sure these two T20 matches will be used to look at that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reverse leg after all the cricket India have played in Australia, Teddy, and they have good memories of it. Excellent test result, excellent ODI results. T20 is also, India would have fancied themselves to win that series coming from behind. But just thoughts on Australia, who have plenty of answers to find of their own, and how do they view this 7-match limited over series?
Look, I mean, they've got to put a lot of importance on this. I mean, I think I've just got a feeling over the years, the Australians haven't put a great deal of importance on these overseas one-day or T20 series. We have to, especially leading into a World Cup in a World Cup season. And we're playing, as Aussies, we're playing against the best side in the world. So we really have to get that momentum happening now. It's not the be-all and end-all, but we certainly have to get a momentum happening against India. In India is the toughest assignment in world cricket for us. But I think we did okay. I think all said and done, obviously the Smith-Warner being out of the team, I think we sort of held our own a little bit. And we weren't as bad as I think what the Australian public felt we were going to be.
Let's focus on the playing 11s, and this is where I'd like to see where Sanjay Manjrekar is leading. He always has a very unique take on what should constitute the ideal
because
11.
I'm starting to get a little conscious about
I don't
people
mean it to
thinking
make you
that I'm
conscious.
trying to be Mr. Different because
Not
somebody
at all,
wrote
not
in
at
his
all.
book that...
But I'm very interested to see this, and between Shankar and Krunal Pandya, you think it's a toss-up. And the big thing I noticed first and foremost is that you've arrested, I'm assuming, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and you have room for both wrist spinners.
Yeah, considering that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is now a certainty for the World Cup 50 overs cricket, worthwhile having a look at Rishabh Pant again and just create healthy competition. And I'd like to go on record to say that Ronak had no influence on me resting Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So this is completely me making an independent choice. If you notice, I've got Markande.
Yes, you do.
Which is to just look at another sort of wrist spinning option, because I think finger spinners are really struggling to survive in today's white ball cricket. There are very few and far between. So if Chahal and Kuldeep are not quite there, or there's an injury, do we have another exciting wrist spinning option? Amit Mishra gone out of the radar, out of plans, Piyush Chawla as well. So I just want to look at Markande.
And no room for KL Rahul, who's got fresh lease of life in the ODI squad as well. No want to try him out, or is that something?
Maybe just have a word, Ronak, with Shikhar and Rohit. How are they feeling? Do they want to just sit out because these are your stars and established players in the World Cup, and then play Rahul at the top? And I think more than Rahul, we got to look at Rishabh Pant. Vijay Shankar is adding another dynamic to this white ball Indian team. So let's have a look at him as well.
What about Australia? They haven't got the luxury of just trying and resting players. They've got to try and figure out their ideal combination. Maybe with the bowling first, Eddie, because Mitchell Starc's been ruled out of this limited overs tour. Pat Cummins returns to white ball cricket. Nathan Coulter-Nile. Sanjay really liked the look of Jai Richardson in Australia, and Adam Zampa as the wrist spinner who troubled India's batsmen in those two T20Is before the test. So it's actually not the worst looking bowling lineup. What are the holes in this team otherwise, though?
Look, I mean, this was actually quite a tough team to pick because a little bit of it's unknown. Khawaja and these guys were playing Test cricket during the Big Bash. We didn't see a lot of them during the T20s. Hanscom's in the squad. He was playing as well. So it wasn't the easiest team to pick. Kane Richardson probably, for mine, could almost come in for Jai because Jai was with the Test team, and Kane was probably our best bowler during the Big Bash. So you could easily give Kane Richardson a game as well. And obviously Pat Cummins is in great form. He's on the I think he's the number one test bowler in the world. So taking that confidence over the T20s might help. So the bowling is fine. It's just the batting. We've really got to sort that out. Glenn Maxwell, you don't want to bat him too low because I think he's a genuine match winner. He's got some good confidence about him. He's in reasonable form. And again, he's going to come into this series as the X factor. He's played against the Indian guys. He's played a lot in Indian conditions. He seems to be maturing as a player. So I think for mine, Glenn Maxwell is going to be a very important player for the Australian side.
You know, Ronak, it's interesting if Steve Smith gets 100% fit before the World Cup, the elbow injury is a concern, and they're looking at a staggered return for Steve Smith. They might actually let him play in the longer format to come back into the Australian team. I would think if he's fit, get him in straight away because these are guys who've been on the big stage before. I don't think it'll take time to get used to the atmosphere. And Warner and Steve Smith in this squad and in this
changes the dynamic.
Suddenly you're looking at Australia as a team that is in contention to get into the Final Four.
So we'll get your thoughts and comments again on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday presented by Maruti Suzuki, the first T20I to kick off this bilateral series at Visakhapatnam on Sunday.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.